Okay, are we live? Are we live? Great, we're live. Hey, welcome back to the Reading with James show, episode 57. I know it's been a while since I updated, and I'm not sure if anyone watching this show, but basically, it's a continuation of me's reading a book, right? So previously, I was reading Tim Ferriss's new book, Tribe of Mentor. Now it's not new anymore. They have Audible version. So instead of reading that, I'm just gonna basically, you know what? Like the main purpose of these things is basically as English is not the first language speakers, and the way you can learn English is best with just reading, right? Reading is one thing. So what I'm gonna do is I teach you one of the reading technique I have been using, which is reading through the Audible book, right? So how that work is basically I developed this methodology. I don't know if anyone using that before, but basically it's like you download the book and then you download the Audible. You buy Audible, you download the Audible, and then because you don't really know if your pronunciations are right or you just like doing that in a way, you know, you just don't have a mentor or just people to check on you, a teacher, right? Or tutor to check on you if you pronounce right, if you say things right, if you have an R in between, or things in that natures. So if you want to read the book, which some of people like me not very good at reading, but it's okay. It's all about practice. If you can read words by words in a certain speed, a certain tonality, it will really help you to improve your English and help you to get context of what things about, right? So right now, what I'm just gonna read for 10 minutes, this episode is the chapter 3 of uh, Alex Strat. Oh shit! Like the name is Annie Rand's one of the book. Alex Stratter, I think, if I pronounce that right. Bear with me. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm currently at the chapter 3, right? So I'm just gonna go to the chapter 3 of this book on my Audible. This is the Audible app from Amazon.
Chapter 3, the top and the bottom.
The top and the bottom, right? So what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna put on my earphone, so you will not hear like two voice, right? And you may say, hey, well, I don't want to, like listen to you. I want to listen to the book, man. This is a copyright, man. I cannot do that to play that but the main purpose of this is really show you like how I do that, so you can do that at home if you want to use this method to practice your reading, practice your English, practice how you doing stuff, right? And this is the Alice Stratter, chapter 3, the top to the bottom. Okay, 10 minutes. Let's go to the 13th, right? So I'm just gonna start to play, and I'm just gonna start reading from the text. Drink some water. I've done this for a while, guys. You should do that too at home. It's fun. Let's do that every day.
The ceiling was that of a cell.
Link it. AirPod. Okay, AirPod. Points. As if the weight of water resting on the shoulders. Okay, let me set the audible speed a little bit slow right now. I think it's double speed. Okay, it's normal speed. Good. It dug directly into the walls and storms eaten by age and dams. There was no windows, only patches of blue light shooting from the dens and the masonry. The dead's blue lights purple for the use of blackout. The places were entered by the way of narrow steps that led down as they descended deep on the ground. This was the most expensive ballroom in New York, and it was built on the roof of the skyscraper. Okay, so obviously I'm repeat what the Audible book is reading, and I found like the original reader is a little bit fast, so I'm just gonna change it to 0.9 speed just for me to get used to it, you know. Sent to table. Raised 60 feet floor from the city. They did not speak loud at the speaker from the height of the freedom of the air and space. They kept their voice low at the fit of the cell conditions and the circumstance, Jay, said the Orenburg. Conditions and the circumstance absolutely beyond human control. We had everything mapped to the role of those reels, but the unforeseen developed that nobody could have prevented. If you'd only give us a chance, Jim. Disunity, torn Taggart, seems to be basic cause of all social problem. Okay, now because like it's become the people talking dialogue, it's too slow. I'm just gonna change it to full speed and see if I can adapt to that. Full speed. My sister has a certain influence with a certain elements among our stockholders. The disrupted tactic cannot be defeated. You said it, Jim. Disunify. That's the trouble. It's my absolute opinion in our complete industry society. No business empire can succeed without sharing the burden of the problem of other enterprise. Taggart put it down again. I wish they fired that bartender, he said. For instance, consider Associated Steel. We got the most modern plan of the country and the best organization. That seems to me to be an indisputable fact because I got the industry effect award of Global Magazine last year. Okay, I'm just trying to like pause here very quick and enterprise. Okay, try to catch some words I'm not pronounced pretty well. Let's keep going. So we can maintain that we done our best and nobody can blame us. But we cannot help it if the iron ore situation is a national problem. We could not get the real Jim. Taggart said nothing. He said that the elbow spread wide on the tabletop. The table was uncomfortable small, and it made it more comfortable him 3 companions. But they didn't see that question his privilege. Nobody can get ore any longer, said Bohr. National exhaustion of the mines, at the wearing out of the equipment and the shortage and the materials and difficulty in the transportations and the other unavoidable conditions. The oil industry is crumbling. That is what killing the mine equipment business, said Paul Larkin. It has been proved that every business depends on every other business, said Orenburg. So everybody is out of the share the burden of everybody else. That is, I think, true, said Wesley Mouch. But nobody ever paid anything to the Wesley Mouch. My purpose, said Orenburg, is the preservation of the free economy. It's generally considered that free economy is now a trial. Unless it proves its social value and assume its social responsibilities, people won't stand for it. So it doesn't develop public spirit. It's done for. Make no mistake about it. Excuse me. Sorry. Albert had appeared to nowhere 5 years ago and has since made the cover of every national news. He had to stand out the hundreds of thousands of dollars of his own and the $200 million loan from the government. Now he had to the enormous concern of had to swallow his work company. This he liked to see the individual abilities to have the chance to succeed in the work. The only justification for private property, said Orenburg, is public service. That is, I think, indubitable, said Westmaster. Orenburg made a noise, swallowing his liquid. He was a large man with a big, vivid gesture. Everything about his person was loudly full of life, except the small black slits of his eyes. Jim, he said, real metal seems to be a color for a kind of swindle. Uh-huh. Yes, he said, Taggart. I hear that there's no single expert who would give a favorable report of it. No, not one. We have been imbued the steel world for generations and increased the weight. Now, is it true that the written metal rail ought to be lighter than the cheapest grade of the steel? That's right, said Taggart. Lighter. But it's ridiculous, Jim. It's physically impossible. For your heavy duty, high speed mainline track? That's right. But you are inviting disaster. My sister is. Taggart made the stem of his glasses whirl slowly between his fingers. There's a moment of silence. The National Council of Mental Industry said Boyle passed a resolution of the commitment to study the question of the random matter emission of the user more than actual public had. That is my opinion, Wise, said Wesley March. And everybody agrees. Taggart's voice suddenly went shrill. When people are unanimous, how did one man dare to dissent? That's what right. That's what I want to know. By what right? Burr's eyes darted to Taggart's face, but the dim light of the room made it impossible to see his face clearly. He saw only one pale, bluish smoke. When we think of the natural resources, at the most critical shrug, Burr said softly. When we think of the crucial raw materials that are being wasted and is responsible private experiment, when we think of the ore, he did not finish. He glanced at the Taggart again, and the Taggart seemed to know the Boreal was waiting for to find the silence and join. The public have a vital stake of the natural resources, Jim, such as the iron. The public cannot remain indifferent to reckless, selfish waste of the antisocial invaders. After all, private property is the trusteeship hold the benefit of the society as a whole. Taggart glanced at the boy and smiled. The smile was pointed. It seemed to be said that something in his words at the end of something the words burial. The liquor they serve here is as well. I suppose that the price we have to pay is not being crowded by all kinds of rabble. But I do wish they recognize that they are dealing with experts. Since I hold the purse string, I expect my money worth at them at my pleasure. Boyer did not answer. His face became something. Listen, Chip. He began heavily. Taggart smiled. What? I'm listening. Jim, you will agree, I'm sure, there's nothing more destructive than monopoly. Yes, Taggart is. On one hand, on the other hand, there's a lot of unrun competition. That's true. That's very true. Its proper cause is always, in my opinion, in the middle. So that is, I think, the duty of the society to snip off the extreme. Now, isn't it? Yes, said Tiger. It is. Considering the picture of the iron ore business, the national output seems to be falling at an ungodly rate. It's threatened the existence of the whole steel industry. Steel mills are shutting down all over the country. There's only one mining company that lucky enough not to be affected by the generation conditions. Its output seems to be plentiful and always available on schedule. And who gets the benefit of it? Nobody except its owner. Would you say that's fair? No, said Taggart. It isn't fair. Most of us don't own iron mines. So how can we compete with the man who got the corner of God natural resources? Is there any wonder he can always deliver still? Or we have to struggle and wait for lose our customer and go out of the business? Is that in the public interest to let one man destroy an entire industry? No, said Taggers. It isn't. All right, guys. So I'm just gonna stop here because there's a plenty long story, but give you some context. Is like it happened to I think early 90s. The real world of in the U.S. industry started booming, and there's some like steel company they building the real world, and this company like CEO is kind of same. So his sister actually run the company, and they try to introduce some like new steel wheel, which is lighter and less expensive, by invented by some of the entrepreneur who have a real well himself. He built tracks. He have a mining company, seems like, but he's just inventor kind of thing, and he's trying to get new stuff to just like sell to other companies, right? And he's a new boomer. He's a new star of the real world industry, and this big old company don't like this new rising company, but the big old company's CEO's sister, who's actually run the company, want to just sign some contract with this new rising company to get their lighter steel wheel. So the old big company CEO just don't like it and talking shit about this new guy because he feels threat because the steel wheel is cheaper and lighter, and he just get the potential, but he just don't want to change. He just use the public as an excuse. So this is the beginning of the story. By the way, like Andy Rand is one of my favorite authors. He wrote The Fountainhead, which is introduced by Owen, right? And a lot of people like it in the self-development industries. So it's a very interesting author to read, and her book is I highly recommend it. So this is today's stream. I hope you guys like it. I will try to do this more. Basically, just show you guys like how I practice English. If you have a similar struggle or needs to improve your English pronunciations, how you read, how you just basically improve it. Can be a good way to learn because you are visualized to the text. You see the words, so you know how to pronounce it. But you actually don't know how to pronounce it until you hear it in your ear by the people who's very good at reading, right? So by doing this way, you can mimic how he sound and they help you to pronounce. And there's some words you don't know how to pronounce. Now you know, and you can skip the word. You can make sure you read each word right by reading the texture. I'm still trying to catch up on that part because I didn't do a very good job on that, but I'm getting better. Later on, I think I will start to try. I don't know if anyway, like not live stream, right? But if there's any way, maybe in the future they have some like subtitle, just translate the words so you can see like how good I pronounce. Or like in the future, if I upload the video, not do streaming, I will try to show what I'm reading on the text, just like a subtitle rolling. Like when you're in the karaoke, right? Like you have subtitle just rolling line by line, like you're singing some song and you have lyrics pop up, so you can read it. So you guys can see like, did I read it right? Or if you are doing that, do you doing it right? Okay, I hope you guys like it. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.